All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to Ochiba, India. This is Sid here, and this is going to be the first live since I'm back from Japan. It's been a few days since I've been back, so almost a week now, although it feels like forever. But yeah. So we're doing a quick live today, an update for everyone from the crew, question and answer around, so that we can run through a couple of questions. And also, I'm going to be giving you guys some basic updates today. Um, so before we get into it, before we get into the questions and the discussions that that people have requested, I'm just going to be talking about um, just like the experience. It's been a little while since we've done a live, right? It's been some time since I've put my face in front of the camera, and so yeah, it's and this time I'm running solo. There's no Vince, there's no Shane, there's no one here. It's just me. So it's going to be something new. Um, for me, it's going to be something new being up here on the camera alone. But as you can see, we're in the new studio. So this is also kind of like a test run for my new setup. Oh my God, Vince, I'm sending you the link, Vince. I'm sending you the link. Hold up, buddy. Let's get that link to Vince right now. Just a second. So this is kind of like also a little bit of a test run for the new setup. I had to get something going to do my videos. It was turning out to be a real headache doing the videos in the farm. I wasn't able to hear properly. I wasn't able to speak properly. You know what I mean? There's a lot of noise there. So yeah, let's try and get Vince on, the OG, the old school gangster. There you go, Vince. The link's on your phone. Come on, get in here. Oh no, Vince is knee-deep filter cleaning right now. Welcome in, Josh. Jarosh, it's good to see you on the live. So what are we gonna talk about? My God, Japan. Almost a month in Nagaoka. This time being Marihiro's apprentice was taken to the next level. I got to work on the farm with him for about 3 weeks. Here and there, just took a few days off to do a little bit of koi buying for our awesome customers. But for the most part, I spent a lot of time at Marahiro Koi Farm. We had one hell of an experience. Welcome in, Prasanna. And I mean, I don't even know where to start, right? So let me just tell you a little bit about his farm. So, from what I learned, he's got, apart from the big round pond and the main facility that you guys have seen again and again and everywhere, there's a lot to Marihiro's farm that you don't get to see. Not a lot of people get to see. Apart from the big facility, there's about almost at least 12 secret koi houses that I got to see. So I don't know how many more there are, but those koi houses are packed with some amazing stuff. Like you would not even believe the stuff that is in that place. I was not allowed to take videos of his secret stock, for obvious reasons. But apart from that, he had so I learned that he has 140 acres of mud ponds, 140 acres of mud ponds, and your boy personally helped harvest about 60 acres, 60 of those mud ponds. You know what I mean? It was absolutely insane the amount of fish that I pulled out from those ponds with him. I think I think I think I've probably pulled out more fish in that 1 month and seen more fish in that 1 month and handled more koi in that 1 month than I have in my entire life. huge fish, amazing quality Nisai. Welcome in, Mark. Nice to see you. It's been a while. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us. But it was one hell of an experience. I saw some insane fish. Like I think possibly the most amazing fish that I saw was an amazing Marutan Kogane Ochiba and welcome in Tanishq. And that Ochiba, I got to meet some amazing people because of Marihiro-san. So all of the big guys, like Yuvo and Brian from FFP and Yuvo, the Koi partner, and Quality Koi, and just like so many people. It was Ataro from Kolama. It was just insane. I got to meet so many people. I did, however, miss out on meeting the one person that I was most excited to meet, Joe Mitchell from the Koi perspective. It just the plan just didn't work out. Joe spent his week in Japan in the south at Sakai and Omasako and things like that, and that's a little far away from where I was, and I was just stuck between all of the work and all of the farm visits and the plans that we had going on with Ochiba, and I just could not meet Joe Mitchell. So I hope I get to do that again, Joe. Sorry about that one. We'll see you next time. But yeah, it was one hell of a trip, man. We've bought about 50 boxes of high quality Nisai Sansai and a very few select few pieces that are almost at that 1 meter sizing. So this is going to be the first time that Ochiba is bringing in some really big fish. Thanks to the support of some awesome customers of mine. There's no way I could have bought them. But we got it going. We bought a couple of really nice fish from Marusan Koi Farm from Mitsusan, including his Tategoi Deutsch Showa, somewhere around 58 centimeters, I believe. I think I'll put the video. I mean, I've already put the video up on the YouTube short, so please go check it out, guys. I don't know where you guys are at, but you'll need to go and see the YouTube shorts. I've got so many amazing stocks loaded up on those videos right now. Ochiba is just leveling up on a monthly basis. And that has been taking the toll on me, because like it takes a lot to push the business to the next level in terms of organizing myself and organizing the company and our small team. Projects have been coming to the projects have been finishing. Orders have been coming through. Some big orders have been coming through. Some small orders have been coming through. Some wholesale orders have been coming through, and just making it all come together, making sure I have the stock, and making sure I can facilitate everything has been one hell of a whirlwind of a month, guys. Just trying to figure everything out. So it's been crazy. We've got a couple of new projects. Anand's project is coming to a closure very soon. His Koi mansion. This is one project that I'm so excited about. He's got a 20-ton indoor pond on the second floor in his apartment, in his living room, and in his villa, which feeds out onto the balcony of his house. That has the balcony has another 10-ton pond over there, which is, filtered by a bog system. And the bog is a separate pond on the balcony that's going to have a crowning effect on the sunset, and it's going to be an intense pond. The second pond is in the entryway of his house, which is a nice, huge glass panel pond, 6 foot window, 15 tons, some filtered with an RDF, and that's going to be where his main collection is. But then apart from that, he's also got a beautiful little landscape pond planned out for his man cave. So Anand's project is something everybody is going to psych out when they see. Like, I'm so excited that I got to help him build and make this thing happen. So that's one project that's been absolutely intense. The second one is the Vitek pond. We got a quick small snippet of it on our Instagram stories right now, so you can go and check that out. It's a 60-ton pond running 4 bottom drains, 2 skimmers, 2 aeration points, and the filter room on that pond looks like an IT company, man. It's got, I mean, this as state of the art as I could get within the budget, right? So it's got an RDF system, it's got cyclone pre-filter, it's got some chambers, it's got protein skimmers, and then it's got separate cans that are running the skimmers, that are running the surface skimmers in the main pond. Apart from that, it's got a small bog system in the waterfall, circulating 120,000 liters an hour. Absolutely insane. So the pond's technically finished, right? So we've got the first few fish that have gone in, and that project is so insane. It makes the first couple of 70 centimeter fish that we've put in look like they're more like 7 inches, you know? So it's crazy as hell. I can't wait. We're still working out a couple of finishing details, some bonsais, a little bit of landscaping, and the aesthetics around the pond until we do reveal video, right? So that's going to be fun. Um, that's the second pond that's finishing up right now. And then we just recently completed the Bangalore pond. So the cornerstone pond, I call it. So we are now freeing up some time and we're taking up our next few projects. So if you've got a project for us, this is the best time to get in touch with us because the team is now freeing up some time. And you know how we work, right? If you've got a koi pond project, we can smack that thing out. It's really, really quick. The team has just become so competent at this point. We've grown to about 9 people right now. So we've got in-house plumbers, in-house electricians, a civil team, maintenance team, fish experts, and wow, it's pretty intense. So coming back to India, for those not in India, said what is a lakh? A lakh is 100,000 liters. Friends, a lakh is 100,000 liters. So the pond that I was talking about, it's circulating about 120,000 liters an hour through the filtration system on a 60-ton system. That's a 60,000 liter system. So we're doing 2x an hour, and that's basically what it is. But coming back to India after Japan and seeing the Ochiba Koi studio was amazing for me. You know, after I've been, uh, I mean, we bought from almost 12 farms this time in Japan. We've got some special news for all you folks that are waiting for Tosais. In the next couple of months, we're going to be dropping some big names in the Tosai game. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be fun. But apart from that, we've bought from the likes of Dainichi, Sakai, from Omasako, from Torazo, from we've got stocks from Maruju, from Marushin, from Marihiro, from Marusaka. Crazy. From We got some really special fish from Aoki because the last time we picked up so many tosais, right? All of my clients in India right now have Aoki tosais that they're grooming, and they've been so happy with the quality. But because we've done a business with Aoki before and with Maruchu before, and a lot of the farmers before, we got some amazing deals on some tategois and some amazing musais and sansai. So we've got about 50 boxes of pure quality coming in, guys. It's going to be absolutely manic. I don't think there's going to be any question about the fact that we've possibly got the strongest stock in the country once this arrives right now. And it's like a dream come true for me. But coming back to it, after going to so many farms in Japan and after seeing all of these places, I came back to India and I saw my koi house and I just was so proud. You know, I was so proud of what we've achieved, right? It's Ochiba at this point, the koi house, and professionally, Ochiba is about, what is it, about 7 months old, 8 months old right now, since our first shipment pulled in. And since we've taken this big step into Japan and taken this big step into pushing into this level that we're working at now. So it's absolutely manic, right? I came back to India and saw the studio that we've done, and it was just so proud. I was so happy. I was so proud of the fact that I was gone for an entire month and my team held together the studio and the farm amazingly, right? They were able to treat everything, they were able to keep everything going just as organized as I would have liked to see it happen. They were able to grow all the tosais, they were able to treat anything that was needed, service all the clients that were required. They were able to bowl and measure and even give out details about variety and farms without me, which is something that I am super proud of. You know, like building a competent team is like half the challenge when I think it's half the challenge when you're building up a new business, right? Have a good team, have a strong customer base, both of those things put together, all you have to do is work hard from then onwards, right? So it was amazing to come back and see how well the team had handled everything and how well the farm had settled. I'm so proud of how well my farm holds up to my expectations after I saw so much amazing stuff in Japan, right? We're still missing out on a few 1 meter koi, but hopefully, I mean, that's going to be taken care of very, very soon. We're going to have some big fish. So now, with the farm, at least, like it's for me, I kind of want to get everybody in India, everybody in Pune, everybody in Maharashtra to come and see this farm, come and experience this place because the way I've set it up, it's one hell of an experience, right? I'm there to help people learn a little bit about koi when they do visit, and we've also opened up the doors of our farm right now, so it's now open for anybody to visit, right? Which is awesome. I want you guys to come. I want every single person in the hobby to just visit, and if they do, even if they're struggling to buy a koi, I will do the best I can to make sure that they go away with their first Japanese koi. So if you want the best deals, drop in. Yeah. Um, new stocks, new stocks. My God. So in so we've had a sh- well, this next shipment is going to be our fourth shipment for the year, okay? And that brings Ochiba to a total of almost 200 boxes of koi imported for this year. For a brand new dealer and for someone that's new in the industry, I think that's just insane. Like 200 boxes on your first year of selling fish is just absolutely amazing. And obviously, it's been because we have consistently reinvested I put every single buck back into Ochiba at every step of the way. We're not sitting back. I ain't going on no vacations. I ain't spending no money. It's all being put straight back into the koi, straight back into the business, and it is showing. The level of the stocks, the quality of the stocks are going up immensely. That Deutsche Showa Tategoi from Marushin, the Jinrin Goshiki Tategoi from Aoki, the Benny Kiko Tategoi from Aoki Sansai. Just some amazing, the Goshiki Tategoi from Ikarashi. There's a few fish that I'm just so proud of being able to bring into the country. Not just proud of being able to bring into the country, but just proud of being able to purchase and be a part of that fish's story. You know what I mean? Because the way I look at it, that's something that's really, really, really special to me. And then on the back over there, you can see those are our first Koi Show awards for Ochiba, right? On that side over there is our first ever koi show that we participated in, first place at the Blitar Koi Show. We got two bronze prizes from our experience at the International Junior Koi Show in Japan, and we got best in country, right? Which is something that was amazing. But now it's time to take that to the next level. Next year, I'm gonna go into beast mode, right? I've got all the tools in front of me to turn Ochiba into something really, really special. And like I'm gonna be pushing. Ain't no doubt about it. So like stay tuned for that one. If any of you are interested in helping me create a grand champion or helping me create a champion koi for the AJKS in Japan, April, hit me up. I am gonna try and make it happen. And if you support me, if you have the financing to help me with it, you could be the proud owner of this fish. We don't know what fish it is. Most likely going to be from Marihiro because he's supported us all the way, and I want to make it a point to kind of win with a Marihiro fish. So let's see how that goes. But that's going to be something that's on my mind for a long time right now. Um, the the stocks that are coming right now, we've got about 400 Nisai, 400 odd fish coming. Sorry, not 400 Nisai, but 400 odd fish coming, out of which 200, 220 odd fish of those are like high quality Nisai, ranging at about 40 to 50 centimeters, just superb, superb quality. I've picked them out myself after. I don't normally pick the koi. The first time I went to Japan and the first purchases that I've made, I've always tried to trust the breeder to select the fish for me, because that's helped me always get the best deal and also build a level of trust with them. But this time I got to select some koi. So I tried to make it a point to bring the best possible quality I could. Just making sure that the body, the conformation, the colors, the vibrancy, the skin quality, everything is on point on these knee size that are coming. But because of that, they are not, I mean, they're stunning value for money. Don't get me wrong. Like, I could, uh, it's basically going to crush any competition, the value for money that I'm going to provide, and the quality that's going to come with it, right? But it's not exactly cheap. I know that everyone, a lot of the Ochiba customers have started with me as a hobbyist. You know what I mean? They've grown with me, and they've all come from like, I mean, see, for me with Ochiba, it's been a special story, right? Anybody that knows Ochiba from the old days knows that we went from selling trying to find beautiful fish that were locally bred and selling them at stunning prices. And then slowly going to Indonesia. We went to Indonesia, had an amazing experience with my brother Mario, and he helped us. He helped us learn so much. He helped us. He helped my knowledge base go to a next level. And in Indonesia, I learned tricks of the trade that I would not have learned in Japan. And that kind of helped me with the entry that we did over there, right? So our first time in Japan, our first time buying, our first time doing business there. The experience from Indonesia just really helped me kill it there, really slay it there. So that was something that like was absolutely priceless, but then it's been a full story, right? And so all of my customers, all of my supporters have kind of grown with me along this journey, right? So over the past couple of months with Ochiba, since we've started, it's been a Tosai story, right? It's been a lot of Tosai, a lot of small fish, trying to find quality in the smallest sizes and putting them out at the most competitive prices that I could. Tosais that we bought and we were selling initially that were about 2 and 3 inches when they first got here are now all bordering on about 10, 12 inches. They're all coming into that knee size sizing. And so the pricing is also going up, although the price on those toe size is still super, super competitive. Those jumbo toe size now are knee size sized and they're selling at literally less than half the price of the knee size that we're bringing down from Japan this time because I was able to buy them cheap when they were small and then groom them, grow them. I was able to add immense amount of value to those fish. We've made it a point to pass on that value to the customer, right? So you're able to buy those fish at stunning prices. There was about 1,200 of them in the beginning. We're left with about 300 of them right now, and 300 of some of the best, 300, about 400 of them, 300, 400 of some of the best quality tosais in the country right now. So that's kind of about the farm. That's about the trip that I've had. If you guys have any questions, please drop it into the comment section and I'll try and get to it. But I had a couple of questions already pre-planned. A couple of people messaged me. So I'm going to go through those first. First up, I want to shout out to Ravi because he's always got my back. He's always keeping an eye out for me. This time he wants me to talk about precautions during the winter. What are things that you can do right now with winter in full form? What are the things that you need to make sure you're doing to make sure that your fish are safe? Yeah. First up. So obviously colder temperatures, water temperatures are down. The metabolism of the fish is really, really low. They're not digesting protein as well. The first main thing you need to do is turn down the feeding that you guys are doing, right? The feeding needs to be brought down immediately. Normally, when it's summer times in India, I always pitch to people that they can feed up to 7 and 8 times a day if their pond is well filtered and if they're doing regular water changes and keeping an eye on their parameters. But right now in the winter, like India is seeing a little bit of a cold winter. I came back from Japan and Japan was hella cold, and I was actually surprised to see that Pune is pretty chilly as well. Like the day is still really hot, but the evenings pretty chill. Like it's pretty cold. So that was something that I was surprised about. My health has gone for a toss, right? Every time I got to Japan, it was like a few days of getting used to it. My body was getting used to it over there. And then after I got completely used to the weather and the water over there, and then now I'm back. And it's been absolutely insane. My body has just been going all over the place. It's only been a day. I've only just about gotten back into action today, right? So that's the with the fish, you really need to make sure right now that you're dropping the feeding. You really need to make sure your waters are clear because the cold temperatures right now, you don't want a breakout to happen. This is the ideal time for parasites to come out, as we've seen before. So that's another thing you need to keep an eye on and just keep your filters clean. So apart from that, there's not really much that you need to do. That we don't have freezing temperatures unless like you're in all the way up north. And if we do have freezing temperatures, then you need to make sure your aerator's on and things like that. You can try and cover your pond to insulate it. In fact, if you're dealing with such cold temperatures, Vince is probably the right guy to advise you guys. But Vince has a question, what's the biggest thing you've learned since you started? Oh, Vince, that's a tricky one. That's a tricky one. So, I mean, what's the biggest thing that I've learned since I started? I think the biggest thing I've learned since I've started is why the koi are so special in Japan, right? So, I mean, Vince here can kind of knows where I'm coming from when I start talking about this because he works so closely with Ricky at New Forest. But I also have a few friends in India that have koi farms, and I've been to Indonesia and I've found some amazing fish over there as well. But the one thing I've learned so much about the heritage of Nishiki koi in this year that I now understand why the Japanese fish are special, right? Um, anybody anybody in that's at the beginning of their journey in this hobby is always going to be like, whoa, those fish are expensive. Why are they so expensive just because they're Japanese? You know what I mean? Why are they three times, five times, 10 times the price than what you'd pay for locally bred koi? And I don't mean to disrespect anyone in any sense, but people all around the world, a lot of koi farmers do an amazing job putting out some beautiful fish, right? But in the few months that I've worked with Marihiro and the guys in Japan, I've seen the amount of work, the amount of planning, the amount of efforts and that goes into every single season, right? Every single season. The each farmer works so hard to make himself stand apart, right? Make himself stand apart, make himself develop the variety that he's working on. They've been at it for generations, and Vince. I mean, I haven't really changed, Vince. It's just an understanding that's changed, right? So it's I understand the value proposition of these fish now, right? I understand the value proposition of the fish that are coming from Japan because, like, the efforts that they put into it, the efforts that these different farmers put into developing each variety and like developing the quality that's coming out from their farm is immense. It's immense. The amount of ugly fish. I mean, I don't mean ugly fish, but the amount of average fish that come out of a farm from each spawning, from each season, it's crazy what amounts come out for them to create the few beautiful pieces, right? So whenever someone says that, hey, that tategoi from that farm, what is the price? And I tell them the price is shocked, right? They're just like, holy crap, what are you talking about? No way. I said, yeah. And they're like, why is that one so expensive and this one not? Because that farmer has put an entire year. Yeah, he's had acres dedicated to breeding that variety. He's had hundreds of thousands of koi spawned that year in his farm. And all of that has boiled down to a limited few high quality or show quality stocks from their farm, right? Japan is an expensive country. Labor is not cheap. Land, for the most part, is cheap, but operating the farms over there is pretty expensive. So those costs obviously translate to the fish, right? Which is why the fish are that expensive. There's a lot of people that say, hey, the fish in Japan are only X price. Why is it costing Y in India? You know, there's a lot of work that goes into bringing those fish here, right? There's quarantine processes on that side. There are commissions that need to be paid. A dealer like me needs to buy in like severe volume to be able to access prices that make it feasible. And the more volume I can purchase in, the better prices I can access, and that translates to you, to the end customer. But that doesn't change the fact that there are so many costs involved, right? There's shipping, logistics fees, there are commissions, there are even just in international transfers of funds from India to Japan and things like that. There are other costs involved in that. There's just the cost of financing, right? When you have to buy, like this time we've bought almost $100,000 of fish, $100,000 of koi in one trip. So that's absolutely insane. But the cost of financing something like that has to come out of somewhere. And then there's the shipping cost, there's the customs cost, there are mortalities. And after the mortalities, there's the cost of the dealer himself. So there's so much that goes into creating these high quality koi in Japan, and that's why these are the different reasons that it costs what it does, right? I hope that answers your question, Vince. And no, I did not change, brother. I just learned a little bit, but yeah. Precautions during the winter, we got through that one. The second one is, let's talk about filters and medias, right? Um, Filters and medias, man. See, I'm an engineering I come from an engineering background with the custom motorcycles that I built for 10 years. If you guys don't know, me and Pia, we used to do some insane custom motorcycles for about 10 years. We don't talk about it too much because that was, I mean, it feels like a really long time ago. But so coming from that engineering experience, what I thought would be the best way to filter things would obviously be mechanically. And I've just seen so many of the products in the industry right now, from canisters to RDF filters to all of these different products, right? That people are using pressure filters and all of that stuff. But the one filter that I think works the best, and this has stayed consistent, right? This is why my pond at home is filtered with this, right? Chambers, sumps. There's nothing as awesome as biological sumps, right? Um, See, like when you build a koi pond, it's a part of your house, right? It's going to be in your property, hopefully, till your final days, right? It's going to be a part of your home. There's space. You're dedicating space in your house quite often, as much as someone's kitchen and things like that. You're dedicating that space to these fish. You're you're putting a lot of valuable time of yours into these fish. You're investing so much money into buying these fish and raising these koi. Yeah. To have everything held together by a couple of off-the-shelf products that have shelf life and plastic life and things like that attached to them is something I don't I don't see too much of sense in, right? Like a canister filter and things like that, they have an X amount of life. Those foam pads are gonna wear out, the rubber seals are gonna bust, there's just so many the plastics are going to brittle over time. Even the drum filter, right? Um, Water is something that can be filtered with so many different basic and simple technologies that having moving parts, having motors, having pumps, having meshes, having drums, having chains and belts and all of this just to filter the water to me seems a little bit excessive, right? Which is why I believe that building concrete, I mean, see, I agree, Vince, but I'm talking about concrete ponds here, right? Because that's what I kind of go with. I liner ponds, not my style. I kind of, unless it's a hobbyist that's starting off in their hobby and has a small budget, I don't. That's when I kind of suggest them to go for a liner pond and use something like a canister filter because then they can kind of start off in the hobby nice and small without spending too much money and kind of and they have space and they have the modularity to expand from there, right? But a concrete pond, if you're going to build a concrete pond, my personal opinion is that concrete, some nice, deep, huge, big chambers is the way to go because biological strength that you can develop in a system like that is something that's almost permanent, right? It can go on. It the concrete pond is going to last, right? It's going to last your entire life. It's going to last as long as your house does, right? If you've got a drum filter that's built from plastic body built into that, then you're going to have to deal with it maybe not now, but maybe in 10 years. You're going to have to try and refurbish it at some point of time if the body doesn't crack. And when you do go to refurbish it, you're going to have to rely on the fact that the company that manufactured that drum still has spare parts around in the market right now. There's a lot of chance for failures over there, and then even apart from that, now say for example the modular style filters that you can put in, right? I love Baki showers, don't get me wrong, but like I'm saying things that you can just pop on the side of your pond and get it start running and get it to start filtering. All of those are again products that like kind of have a shelf life, unless you're looking at a stainless steel Baki shower or something like that. But with a concrete chamber with civil chambers that you build, it's going to last just as long as the pond. It's going to last just as long as the house. You know, there's a permanency involved. If you if you do 35% of your pond volume in civil chambers, like we've got at the farm right now, you've seen the amount of stocks that we kind of keep, right? We keep some heavy amount of stocks in the farm right now. Like each pond, like I have a 15,000 liter pond that has about 350 12-inch koi in there that are being fed 10 times a day, 8 times a day, 6 times a day, So, and that's the level at which that sump is able to handle it. Now, in my case, the water at the farm is not like pristine. It's not like that. It's not like how I would love it. Although for a farm, it's really good, right? Even coming from Japan, like my water is comparable with any of the best of the farms in Japan. And like the farms in Japan don't feed. They don't feed when the koi are inside the koi house, right? So, but we do in India, like at the Ochiba Koi Studio, we feed them heavily, right? That's so that is something that I think is the best way to go. That's kind of why I believe in civil chambers and concrete chambers, and I do them all over the place because once they're in, it's on, it's ready to go, right? At most, like at some point of time, you may have to replace the pump. At some point of time, you may have to replace the UV. Those are and if the pump that you bought from X company is no longer available, you can always just throw in another pump from another company, right? You're not if you've done a civil chamber, then you're not like restricted to using spare parts from a certain company. So that kind of takes out it brings longevity to the pond, right? So that's kind of those are the few questions that we had for today. Um, There's going to be a few more lives. I'm going to do a few more videos now that we have this beautiful new space to build, to do some nice lives for you guys. I'm definitely going to be around here and there a lot more. We got those terrariums at the back from BioLark, which are looking absolutely fabulous. If you guys are looking for some terrariums, let me know. And yeah, if there's any other questions, I'm happy to answer them really quick if you can drop them in the comments. Otherwise, this is the end of today's live. Thanks so much for joining us. I hope I was able to give you some good info today. And we're going to do a lot more of these. We're going to try and share as much knowledge as we can right now. And now that the Koi House is open to everyone to visit, I request you all, please come. Thanks for joining us. This is your boy Sid here, and this was Ochiba Koi India. Peace out. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please don't forget to share this video. And also check out the shorts, guys. Check out the shorts on our YouTube. We've got some awesome shorts where you can see all the various stocks that we've purchased from different farms, and you can kind of go through them over there. And if you see something you like, please let me know. We have a few weeks left till these fish come down, and it's going to be insane. So stay tuned and see you guys later. Oh.